All right, buckle up, folks. This is a long one, but I promise it's a ride. I need to get this off my chest because what started as me venting to my sweet 74-year-old grandmother about how screwed up the get-rich online world is has turned into the most bizarre, profitable, and honestly humbling journey of my life. My name is Jake. I'm 28, living in a decent but overpriced apartment in Phoenix, Arizona. I graduated with a business marketing degree, full of that bright-eyed optimism you see in stock photos of graduates tossing their caps. I was going to be the next Gary Vee or something. The reality check was swift and brutal. For the last 5 years, I've been deep in the grinder of every online side hustle you can imagine. I'm talking drop shipping, spent $1,000 on AliExpress junk and Facebook ads, only to get 2 sales and a chargeback that wiped them out. Amazon FBA? Don't even get me started. The horror stories about shipment mix-ups, getting suspended for no reason, and competing with Chinese sellers who could undercut me by 90% are all true. SMMA, social media marketing agency, this one stung. I'd cold call local pizza shops and HVAC companies, promising them the world. I'd get a few clients, run their ads, and sometimes even get decent results. But the second their cousin's nephew offered to do it for $100, I was gone. The churn was insane. I felt like a used car salesman. TikTok shop? Tried to ride that wave. The algorithm is a fickle god. One video gets 1 million views and you make a few grand, the next 50 get 500 views and you're sitting on a pile of fidget spinners you can't give away. The common thread? It was also virtual, so abstract. You're fighting algorithms, dealing with ad account bans, and trying to convince people you're legit through a screen. It's a constant draining hustle with a very high floor for entry in terms of knowledge and capital. You need money to make money, and even then, there's no guarantee. These gurus selling courses make it sound like you just need to believe hard enough and the money will flow. It's bullshit. Most of them make their real money from the courses, not the proven system they're peddling. I was burnt out completely. I had a decent W-2 job as a digital marketing coordinator for a mid-sized company, but my soul was tired from the online grind. I was visiting my grandma, Betty, for our weekly Sunday dinner. She lives in this quiet, well-kept suburb about 20 minutes from me. Her biggest technological challenge is remembering her iPad password, but she's sharp as a tack. She could tell I was off. "Jacob, you look like you just lost your best friend," she said, pushing a second helping of her legendary meatloaf towards me. "Is it that computer business again?" I sighed. "Yeah, Grams, it feels like a scam. Everyone's trying to sell everyone else a dream, but the real money is in selling the dream of the dream. I'm tired of fighting for attention online. I wish I could just, knock on doors or something. Real." She patted my hand. "Well, honey, in my day, if you wanted to tell people about your business, you put an ad in the penny saver or sent a postcard. Simple." I chuckled. "The penny saver, Grams? I think that went with the way of the dodo." "But the postcards didn't," she said, with a twinkle in her eye. "I still get them from that nice realtor, Brenda, and I always look at them. It's right there on my fridge. You can't close a tab on a postcard." That little comment stuck with me. You can't close a tab on a postcard. Later that night, drowning my sorrows in a cheap beer, I did some Googling. Direct mail. Postcard advertising. It was all still there. And the more I read, the more a crazy idea started to form. What if I combined the old school physicality of direct mail with a modern agency-style approach? Here was the kernel of the idea, the one that would change everything. The community coupon mailer. The concept was simple. I would design a glossy, high-quality postcard. On one side, a bold, welcoming design. "Welcome to your Phoenix community savings," or something like that. On the other, 16 neat, clean ad spots. Each spot would be for a different local business category. One plumber, one electrician, one landscaper, one pizza place, one realtor, one dentist, one gym, etc. The exclusivity was the key. I'd only have one business per category on each card. No competition. I'd use my SMMA sales experience, but this time I had a tangible, physical product to sell. I wasn't selling likes or engagement. I was selling a spot on a piece of paper that would land on 5,000 doorsteps in their own city. I crunched the numbers. Printing 5,000 high-quality full-color postcards, around $450. Mailing via every door direct mail through USPS, about $1,850. Total cost, $2,300. If I sold all 16 spots for, say, $400 each, that's $6,400. Profit, $4,100. My heart started pounding. This wasn't a complicated e-commerce funnel. This was simple math. I just had to sell the spots. I spent a week designing a mock-up in Canva. I made it look professional and clean. I picked a specific zip code in a middle-class suburb with a mix of young families and older homeowners. The kind of people who might need a plumber and eat pizza. Then came the hard part, sales. My first day, I must have called 50 businesses. The script was rough. "Hi, my name's Jake, and I'm launching a community coupon mailer that will be sent to 5,000 homes in the North Valley next month. We offer exclusive advertising spots, meaning you'd be the only plumber on the entire card. Are you interested in hearing more?" The responses were mixed. "Not interested." Click. "We already do mailers. Send me an email." Then no reply. "How much? $400? Yeah, right." But then on call 23, I got a maybe. It was a guy named Tony, who owned Tony's Trustworthy Trash Hauling. He was a no-nonsense kind of guy. "Look, kid, I waste $1,000 a month on Google ads. Half the clicks are people looking for the city dump. At least with a postcard, I know it's going to real people in my neighborhood. Send me the info." I was ecstatic. I had my first maybe. The first solid yes came from a State Farm insurance agent named Maria. She was young, hungry, and got it immediately. Exclusivity? So I'm the only insurance agent? Sold. I'm tired of competing with the other 3 agents on the same Google search results page. That first sale was a rush like no other. $400 in the bank. Well, promised. It took me 3 weeks of relentless calling, emailing, and even some old-fashioned door knocking, but I managed to sell 11 out of the 16 spots. I was shy of my goal, but with $4,400 in revenue, I was still looking at a profit of over $2,000 after the $2,300 in costs. I was terrified to pull the trigger. What if it was a total flop? I bit the bullet, placed the order with the printer and USPS, and waited. The mailer went out on a Tuesday. On Wednesday, nothing. Thursday, radio silence. I was sick to my stomach. I'd blown $2,300 of my savings. I was a failure. My grandma called to ask how it went. "It's too early to tell, Grams," I mumbled, trying to hide the despair in my voice. Then Friday happened. My phone started buzzing. It was Tony, the trash guy. "Jake, what the hell did you do?" he barked. My heart sank. "Oh no, Tony, I'm so sorry I got 8 calls yesterday. 8. I booked 3 new recurring customers. This is insane. You gotta put me on the next one, you hear me? Don't you dare give my spot to anyone else." I was floored. Then Maria, the insurance agent, texted, "Hey, got 3 solid leads already. One just signed up for a life insurance policy. This is awesome." A local pizza place, Sal's Slice Shop, called. The owner himself, in a thick New York accent. "Kid, we got slammed last night. Coupons coming in left and right. You're a genius. When's the next mailer?" I had done it. It worked. Not just on paper, but in reality. Real businesses were getting real customers. I was a hero. I celebrated with my grandma that Sunday. I told her the whole story, beaming with pride. She just smiled her gentle smile. "I told you, Jacob." Simple. Then she asked a question that would send this story into the stratosphere. "So, how do you find the people to put on the card?" I explained my process. I'd use Google Maps and Yelp to find local businesses, then just start dialing. She said, sipping her tea. "It seems like you spend all your time talking to people who say no. What if someone just asked them?" I laughed. "Well, yeah, Grams, that's the dream, but it's a sales job. You gotta grind." She nodded thoughtfully. "You know, my bridge club meets every Wednesday. Carol's son is a dentist. Susan's neighbor just started a landscaping business. I could just ask them." I patted her hand, the way she always pats mine. "That's sweet, Grams, but it's a little more complicated than that. There are contracts, payments, design approvals. It's a whole thing. Don't you worry about it." She just smiled again. "Okay, dear." 2 weeks went by. I was ramping up for my second mailer, this time targeting a different zip code. I was in the thick of the grind, getting rejected left and right, when my grandma got a text. "Gram, Jacob, can you send me that picture of the card, the one you showed me?" Me. "Sure, Grams. Everything okay?" "Just wanted to show my friend." I shrugged and emailed her the PDF mockup. No big deal. A few days later, I got a notification from my payment processor. A $500 payment from Bella Dentistry. Weird. I didn't have a dentist signed up for the new mailer yet. Must be a mistake. Then another one. $450 from Green Thumb Landscaping. And another. $400 from Pampered Paws Grooming.